Okay.
So the idea for JSU Serenity Garden started before the devastating tornadoes in 2018. At that time I was working in the counseling center here at JSU, and some of my team had thought that it would be a really great idea for us to have a unique outdoor space that students could be outside and be able to reflect in the beauty of nature, to disconnect from devices, and just to reap all the benefits associated with being outdoors. And then of course we had the devastating tornado that changed the landscape of our campus. It was a very difficult time for us, but it was a time that JSU was able to come together and show a lot of resilience. And so, you know, we continued those discussions after the tornado, and then the pandemic hit, which brought about, I think everybody will recognize and agree, brought about like unique challenges for people in our society, with like relationships, connection, mental health, anxiety, you know, all of those things. So it was really when we were emerging from the pandemic that we started having serious discussions about how we could really bring a space like this to JSU. And so I began speaking with Fred Smith from the Community Foundation of Northeast Alabama, and pulled together some key people from the university that I thought could share the vision. We connected with Tyler Law in capital planning and facilities, and his background in like horticulture and landscape and things like that. He's the person that was responsible for making JSU's campus look so beautiful. We kind of talked about ideas that we thought would really appeal to students and make it a usable space for students. And then Seth Johnson, who was then with the art department, came on board, and he elevated our vision, you know, for this space. So the idea came about that the space could include JSU's first piece of sculpture art. So many campuses have sculpture art. We don't have sculpture art on campus yet, and so we incorporated that into the design. So it's been a long process since 2018 when the initial discussion began, and we are so excited to be here, and we are so excited to open this space for students for fall 2025. We are surrounded by student housing in this area. We're also central to academic buildings on campus, and we think it'll be a place that the entire campus community can enjoy and love, you know, and we hope that they, you know, start to share our vision. That idea is emerging, you know. So the idea is that there would be student involvement in the creation of the sculpture. So the idea is that a course would be offered, and that students would have the opportunity to work with a visiting professor to actually create the art that will be installed here. So our space will be open. It will be designated by some lovely shrubbery and landscape. We're going to have some archway portals that will lead visitors into the space. We plan to have a pergola that will be a focal point in addition to the sculpture art that's installed. And so the pergola will also be in the area where we have actually incorporated two of the open spaces, sacred places, benches into our design. So we'll have two benches. We also plan to incorporate some additional seating through benches, picnic tables, and a unique aspect is the hammock post that will be installed in the shady area of the garden so that students can hang their hammocks. They can check out hammocks from our University Recreation Center and just really relax and enjoy being outside at JSU.